Have you ever held in your hand a coin, just 25 cents in face value, that quietly whispers a story of America's wild places, of human ambition and artistry, and of the surprising world of modern coin collecting? Today, we're about to explore one such coin, the 2018 Pictured Rocks Quarter. On the one side, Pictured Rocks National, Lakeshore in Michigan, a majestic stretch of shoreline along Lake Superior with colorful cliffs, rock arches, and dense forest. On the other, the humble US quarter coin, minted in large numbers, easy to overlook. But when those two worlds collided in 2018, something quietly interesting happened. In this video, we'll journey through the history behind the coin and the park, delve into myths and collector whispers surrounding it, and conclude with what this coin is worth today in the auction market, and how you might approach it as a collector. So, settle in and let's explore this small but fascinating piece of numismatic Americana. First, the place. Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore sits on Michigan's Upper Peninsula. For decades it's been celebrated for its vibrant mineral-stained sandstone cliffs, reds, oranges, blues, and for the way autumn light and lake mist mingle to create almost painterly scenery. It's the kind of place Americans have loved for generations. In 2010, the US Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a sprawling series of 56 quarters from 2010 to 2021, each featuring a US national park or site from each state, the District of Columbia, and US territories. The idea: to blend circulation, coinage with national heritage, to spark public interest in both collecting and the natural treasures of the United States. The 2018 series was one of those years. Among the 5 designs released that year was the Pictured Rocks Quarter. The coin bears the standard obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington facing left, with inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination $quarter. On the reverse, it features a striking view of Pictured Rocks, the Lakeshore Cliffs, the word Pictured Rocks, the state Michigan, the date 2018, the motto E Pluribus Unum, and a mint mark depending on which mint produced it. What's compelling is how this design brings together nature and art, how everyday change meets heritage. For many casual fans, this quarter is just another coin in their pocket. For others, it's a reminder of the Upper Peninsula's wild beauty. Let's look at the numbers. How many of these coins exist, and what were their production parameters? According to mint records, for the Pictured Rocks design in 2018, the Philadelphia, PA, mint produced 186,714,000 clad business strikes. The Denver, DA, mint produced 182,600,000 clad business strikes. There were also much smaller numbers for uncirculated or proof versions from the San Francisco, S, mint and special silver or reverse proof editions. What does this tell us? Simply, the coin is not rare in terms of mintage. Hundreds of millions of these quarters were thrown into circulation. From a collector's perspective, that usually means modest value and less condition. Variety or error make a difference. According to value guides, in regular uncirculated condition, MS+, the estimated value might be under $2 for many examples. But, and here's where it gets interesting, the story isn't only about mintage numbers. It is about condition, variety, mint mark, and the collector's psychology of modern coins that could be more than face value. So while a typical Pictured Rocks quarter may remain at face value, 25 cents, or slightly above, certain examples, especially graded high mint state, proof or silver issues, can attract significant premiums. We'll explore actual value and auction results in a later chapter. In the world of coin collecting, especially modern coins, myths circulate. The Pictured Rocks quarter is no exception. Let's unpack some of the tales you might hear, and what the facts really are. Myth 1. This coin will be worth thousands someday because of the natural design. Many collectors hope that the beauty of the design and the connection to a national park means future rarity and value. The fact is, while the motif is attractive, value depends more on survival in pristine condition graded certification, and collector demand rather than simply nice picture. As one value guide notes, their 2018 pictured rocks quarter value ranges are more stable but can appreciate over time, especially if kept in pristine condition. In other words, good condition plus grading equals potential upside. Just design alone is rarely enough. Myth 2. There are only a few of these coins left, so they'll skyrocket. With hundreds of millions minted. This is simply not true for the standard business strike. Mintage numbers show vast production, over 180 million just at the P and D mints. However, very high-grade specimens, MS67-68, might be significantly rarer than the mintage suggests, because retaining perfect condition from circulation is difficult. Value guides show that MS68 from Philadelphia may reach around $155 as of 2025 estimate, but that's still modest relative to many rare coins. Myth 3. If I find one in my change, I'm sitting on $1 million coin. This is perhaps the most persistent hope, but for most pictured rocks quarters found in circulation, the value is still face value or slightly above. According to one appraiser site, approximate current value, 25 cents. That said, if you find one that is absolutely flawless, graded, or is a rarer proof of silver version, then yes, there is potential for much higher value. But those are exceptions, not the rule. Myth 4. Gold-plated versions are worth a fortune. You may see someone selling a gold-plated pictured rocks quarter claiming it's worth something special. But in collecting circles, these gold-plated coins, which were often novelty items, carry no premium simply due to plating. The underlying coin remains standard. See the coin appraiser site's commentary on this. Myth 5. There are error varieties that make this coin super valuable. It's true that coin errors can create value uplift, but for the 2018 pictured rocks quarter, no major error variant has emerged, at least none widely acknowledged. One value guide states, there are currently no known errors of this coin. Of course, minor planchette or die issues exist in theory, but nothing like a major mule or doubling recognized in the high-value tier. Now we are shifting into the nitty-gritty. What separates a regular quarter from one that might command collector interest? Mint mark and strike variety. For the 2018 pictured rocks quarter, you'll find primarily a 2018 P, Philadelphia, clad business strikes, the bulk of production. A 2018 D, Denver, clad business strikes. Same year, large numbers. A 2018 S, San Francisco. Proofs uncirculated a special, much smaller production numbers. Different finishes. Sometimes silver or reverse proof editions. As with most modern coins, the rarer the finish or the smaller the mintage, the higher the potential value. Proof or silver versions with S-mint mark often attract set builders. Grade remains king. Coins slabbing by major services, like PCGS or NGC, which evaluate and encapsulate coins with a grade, tend to carry significantly more value than raw coins. Some relevant data. One guide reports for 2018. Pictured rocks, MS68 from P Mint, could fetch around $155 in 2025. Meanwhile, typical ungraded coins remain near face value. Special finishes and versions. A proof, clad, versions. For the S-mint mark proofs, values around $8 to $14 in lower grades. Higher in PR70. A silver proof versions, 90% silver. Typically $5 to $10 in typical, maybe higher if graded. A reverse proof or special editions. Again, premium can be higher, but require rarity. So if you happen to have a 2018 S, silver proof pictured rocks quarter in PR70, you might be sitting on something significantly more than a circulation coin. What detracts from value? A wear a circulation. Once the coin shows wear, it's much less desirable. A scratches, bag marks, mishandling. A cleaning, damage, unnatural toning. A lack of certification. Many buyers prefer slabbed coins. A commonness. If a coin is very common even in high grade, value may stay modest. We've talked about mintage, condition, and myth. Let's now look at what the market actually pays for the 2018 pictured rocks quarter. According to recent value guides, for an MS68 from the P Mint, up to around US $155. For an MS68 from the D-Mint, up to around US $1,000, given smaller survivors in high grade. As of 2025 estimate. For typical ungraded circulation coins, near face value, 25 cents to maybe $1, depending on condition. Let's conceptualize this for the viewer. If you took a fresh mint 2018p pictured rocks quarter from a roll, used it, and it circulated, it might be worth around 25 cents to $1 today. Or if you found one in MS65 or MS66 condition and had it graded, you might see values of a few dollars to tens of dollars. Or if you found one in MS67 or MS68, certified by PCGS NGC, then you're in the realm of hundreds of dollars for P-Mint, or even up to 1,000 for D-Mint, depending on population and demand. But keep in mind, high grades are rare, because even lightly handling a coin from circulation often introduces marks, wear or microscribes, so those top-tier specimens are scarce and therefore command premiums. Another point, the market for modern quarters is not as fervent as for really old or rare coins. So while the pictured rocks quarter has upside, it's not likely to crash through the stratosphere the way rare 19th century coins might. Case study scenario. Imagine you have a coin and it's slabbed PCGS MS67. You check population reports. Say only a small number of MS68 exist from your mint mark, so your MS67 may carry some premium. You decide to auction it. The auction result might show bidding to, for example, US $200 160, or so depending on venue and market interest. If instead the coin is raw and ungraded, you might only get $2 to $5. Why might a coin like the pictured rocks quarter matter beyond the monetary value? Let's explore several dimensions. Heritage and storytelling. Each America the Beautiful quarter isn't just a coin, it's a miniature story of America's landscape. Holding the pictured rocks quarter, you might think of boating on Lake Superior, the sound of waves, the blazing colors of autumn, and the idea that even everyday coins can connect us to place and history. Entry point for modern coin collecting. For many new collectors, modern coins, those minted within the last few decades, provide an affordable way to begin. You can pick up a pictured rocks quarter, learn about mint marks, grades, proofs, finishes, and over time build a deeper understanding before branching into older, rarer coins. Condition matters, an exercise in care, because value in this coin, and many modern coins, hinges on condition. It teaches caution. Once you take it out of circulation, handle minimally. Use coin sleeves, avoid cleaning. For the serious collector, it becomes about preservation, grading and long-term mindset. The psychology of future rarity. Collecting modern coins often rests on hope that maybe this will be rare someday. The pictured rocks quarter embodies that. High mintage, but high-grade survival is limited, and the collector interest might be future-oriented. It's a reminder, rarity is not always only about mintage. It can be about survival, condition, provenance, and demand. Auction lessons, buyer and seller behavior. For those selling, the pictured rocks quarter shows, grading helps, marketing helps, clear photographs help, understanding population counts helps. For buyers, ask if coin is slabbed, what grade, what mint mark, what finish. Don't assume face value equals value. That education matters. If you happen to own a 2018 pictured rocks quarter, or you're thinking of adding one to your collection, here are some practical tips. 1. Check the mint mark on the obverse. Under Washington's bust or near the ribbon, you'll find P, D, or S. The mint marks can influence value. 2. Assess condition. Look under strong light for wear, bag marks, scratches. Even small marks can downgrade a coin from MS68 to MS67, which can reduce value significantly. 3. Decide if you'll grade. If you believe the coin is high grade, MS67 or MS68 or proof, and you're willing to pay grading fees, which may be US $30 US, $100 plus. Slab certification can help unlock value. 4. Beware novelty items. gold-plated quarters, large replicas, or faulty mint errors, with no independent verification often carry no extra value. 5. Understand the finish. If the coin is a proof or silver proof from S-Mint mark, with 90% silver, then the story changes. Those versions carry more collector interest. 6. Store properly. Use inert coin sleeves or capsules. Handle only by edges. Avoid fingerprints. Humidity. Direct sunlight. Condition preservation can pay off. 7. Do your homework on population. Before investing tens or hundreds of dollars, check how many of your coin type and grade exist via population reports from PCGS or NGC, auction records, and price guides. 8. Manage expectations. Remember that most examples of the coin will be worth modestly above face value. Don't assume guaranteed windfall. Collect because you like the coin, and value will be a bonus. What might the future hold for the pictured rocks quarter? Let's look at trends and what might influence value going forward. A demand from set builders. Sets of the America the Beautiful series remain popular. A collector seeking complete set 2010 to 2021 will need the pictured rocks coin. That baseline demand is stable. A highly graded survivor scarcity over time. The number of perfect MS68 or PR70 specimens may dwindle due to wear, corrosion, mishandling. If true survivors are limited, those coins may command premiums. A market conditions. Collector interest in modern coins fluctuates. If interest expands, e.g., younger collectors entering hobby, values might rise. If interest contracts, values could stagnate. A special editions impact. If new evidence emerges of rare error or variant for the pictured rocks, quarter, unlikely but possible. That could spike interest. A international collector interest. Coins like this may attract overseas buyers interested in US national park themes, which might boost prices. To illustrate, one guide notes that for the 2018 pictured rocks quarter, the top estimated value for MS68 is around $155 for P-Mint, up to $1,000 for D-Mint. Should we see multiple MS68 plus auctions above those figures, the market high may shift. Until then, collectors should view such coins as moderately valued modern collectibles, not speculative gold mines. So, there you have it, the story of the 2018 pictured rocks quarter, a coin that ties together America's natural beauty, coin minting history, collector psychology, and the just barely understood potentials of modern numismatics. From a piece of everyday circulating coinage to a collectible depending on condition and context, the pictured rocks quarter invites us to look twice at the cliffs and Lakeshore it commemorates, and at the coins we might overlook in our pockets. It reminds us that value in coins isn't just face value, it's story, condition, rarity, and enthusiasm. If you've got one of these coins, or find one in change, ask yourself, is it just another quarter, or could it be one of the better preserved survivors? Handle it with care. If you don't yet have one, perhaps add it to your collection because of its design or as part of a set, not because you believe it's an overnight jackpot. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, did you find a pictured rocks quarter? What condition is it in? Would you have it graded? Until next time, keep exploring coins, keep telling their stories, and keep looking for the little treasures among the everyday.